I want to talk to you a little bit about the coming election and the kind of information you're going to be able to access. Things are changing, and they're changing rapidly, and you will never notice it because that's the way things are done now. But there is a massive campaign on that I believe our government is absolutely involved in, but not only the government, social media. My social media page, just on YouTube, I don't know, 1.62 million people, I don't remember what it is, followers. And to show you what's going on, I think 3 months ago, I had 95 million impressions every month, 65 million views, something like that. That was 3 months ago. Now we have about 60 million impressions and 12 million views. This month, we are trending to be half of that again. There is nothing that we've done differently. Now, unless America is just bored to snot with me, which I completely accept, that is a real possibility, we are being silenced. And it's not just us. It is everybody who has a different opinion from this administration. And we are being silenced and squelched. By the time we get to the end of the summer, which is where the campaigns are going to be heating up, if you're a subscriber of mine on YouTube, you're never going to see me. You'll have to search me out to find any of my clips. This is, again, electioneering, and it is gravely disturbing. This is the time I built the Blaze for. Back in 2010, I was sitting in the office, and I remember talking to Stu and Pat and saying, we got to get out of here. This place is going to burn itself to the ground. And we all knew that. We all knew that the media was going to burn itself to the ground. Wouldn't you agree? We all looked at it at the time. But when I said we had to go online, that was stupid. That was stupid. Nobody was doing it at the time. I mean, there were people, Adam Curry was doing things, but there was nobody that was really a success at it at that point. And nobody was doing a live network. It was only Major League Baseball. And I took all of my children's college funds and everything else that I had made, and I dumped it into the Blaze. And I nearly lost it all because we were way, way ahead. But luckily, we had some very dedicated people. I meet them all the time. I've been a member since the very first day of the Blaze, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. We have grown a great deal, but we don't have the social media push out. They are they're doing this to the Blaze. They're doing this to Daily Wire. They're doing this to everybody. And so you're going to see less and less from us and our opinions. And it's really a very dangerous thing because we are now entering a very dangerous time. I'm going to be real honest with you, too. I see a time that I'm not going to be able to talk to you about what's really going on. If you don't know by then, you probably won't know. But we're going to have to stay in contact some way or another. So I have been working on several programs that we are going to try. And tonight is a program based on history. It's a pilot, and I want you to watch it and see if it is something that you would watch. Again, it's a pilot. They'll change a bit. This one is tonight, all on history. And, we have this amazing, we probably have, I don't even know, $80-90 million worth of documents and everything else in a vault. And we're going to start telling those stories if this is something that you would like. And this is kind of a backup show, so we could stay in touch. And I'm not talking politics. I'm just telling you the truth of history. And tonight is the first one is It's based around one of the most stressful auctions of my life. There was one artifact, and there was just one, and it was so important. It changed the world. And I talked to my wife about it, and she said, "Are you out of your mind?" And I said, "Well, but there's only one, and look how important it is. It would change the world, etc." So she gave me a budget, and I was like, "There's no way I'm going to win this thing." It was the test model version. They made 4 Sputniks. The last one they made burned up in space. But this was the Sputnik. We believe this was the one that was testing the tones that went out. It now hangs from the roof. A copy of it hangs from the roof of my office. The other one is in the vault. But I couldn't believe it. We won, and I was on cloud 9, knowing that our museum now had something that nobody else had except the Air and Space Museum in Moscow and the Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. And it is what caused the space race. It was the first satellite. It was the first thing that went up. All of our telecommunications now come from that. Then, in fact, let me play a little bit of a clip of tonight's show. Do you have that clip where...
I've collected so many artifacts over the years that we now are able to open an entire museum. So when I heard that that was coming up for sale, one of the Soviet Union's Sputnik satellites that's responsible for everything in space, it was coming to auction. I had to win it.
110,000, now go 120, 120, 130, now 140,000, 130, now 140, 150, now 160,000. See the song. 280, now 3, got a little higher. What do you think? Can you get it to 3? He does. He's in orbit now. 300, now 320, 300, now 320,000. Anybody else beyond that? $300,000. Fair warning. Man, you are being foolish, my friend. $300,000.
I won it. Sputnik was ours. But then I got a call into a meeting with historians at our museum. They didn't want to tell me any specifics about the meeting beforehand, which is never a good sign.
This thing is such an amazing... what was Epstein's assistant's name? Maxwell?
Ghislaine Maxwell?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the movie Tetris?
Yes.
Okay. That's Max, the big guy from England in that is Maxwell, okay, her dad. But her brother is also in that movie, and he was the loser that was trying to go, get Tetris for his father. Well, he's actually involved in this story, and I don't know if this made the final cut. He plays a very small role, but he was involved. We weren't sure if this was even real, and we couldn't tell. We had a tip-off because we looked at the other Sputniks, and they were slightly different. And the difference was something that you would never, if you were going to fake one, you would never fake it like that because it became obvious. But there were some things that just kept falling apart on us. Did I buy a fake Sputnik? Tonight, you'll find out, is it a fake Sputnik or not? And you'll learn all about Sputnik and the space race. We take you back to what this really meant. It's great for the whole family. It happens tonight. This is just a pilot that we did, I don't even know, about a year or so ago, and we've been holding it. We want to take you through the entire museum and teach you history through the objects in the museum. So watch it tonight with your family. Let us know what you think. And you can watch my special tonight on BlazeTV.com. It's 9 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't subscribed yet to the Blaze TV, and you try to watch my show on YouTube, we've noticed, we don't know if it's the algorithm or what, but nobody's now watching at 9:30. So we're testing something else. We're going to post it there tomorrow at an earlier time, 6 p.m. Eastern, to see if it's being silenced or you're just not watching anymore. We don't know what's going on with our YouTube channel. We suspect, but we don't know. So tomorrow at 6 p.m. on YouTube, but tonight, the premiere on BlazeTV.com.
Now, from a workflow perspective, was there any consideration given to the idea of maybe meeting with the historians before you spent $300,000 on the item?
We did.
Okay.
And we do that. We check everything out, but there was one thing that we didn't notice. And this journey is crazy. We have the one of the head guys of NASA. We have probably the biggest space artifact guy. I think we flew him in from California or Washington. He came in. They disagreed at first. I mean, wait until you see the ending. It's an amazing ride.
Did you save your receipts? That's what I wanted to know. Did you save? When you take it back up to the counter and say, yeah, this Sputnik isn't working out for me.
Yeah.
You want to have your receipt in hand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Or at least the
I
credit
hope
card
did.
you bought it on. You want to bring that back?
Yeah.
Hey, Amex, somebody put a Sputnik on my card. It wasn't me.
Why would I buy a Sputnik? It doesn't even fly anymore.
So is this something that you're thinking about long-term of doing more of these types of things? Because we have so much great stuff over at the museum, and at least my understanding is we know all the rest of the stuff is real. But, it seems like you could do a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, we're going through, because of Sputnik, we're going through absolutely everything. And we found a couple of things that are questionable. We haven't found any fakes. We've found some things that the story's not quite right on. We've got 3 people that's all they do. And they're going through the entire museum, and the documentation now on all of our artifacts is amazing. And we're learning so many just incredible stories, that include people that you would just never think. I've said this before. I honestly don't think we would have won World War II if it wasn't for Ian Fleming, the guy who wrote James Bond. We have 3 specific artifacts from him that tell a story that nobody knows. And it's just incredible. Some people might know Operation Mincemeat, but they don't know how he affected the war all the way along. He played a quiet role, and nobody knew it at the time. But we have a lot of stuff that we're excited to show you. So this is a show that we will take you through all of the. If you watch it and you like it, we'll take you through all of the museum and teach history through the artifacts that are or are not real.